You blame potholes for your ruined tires, the cracked rims, the slow leaks, the tread wearing out early. But the bigger damage might be coming from something you do every time you fill up, not something you hit on the road. A National Highway Traffic Safety Administration survey found that more than 1 in 4 passenger cars had at least one tire underinflated by 8 PSI or more. And one number keeps showing up again and again in that conversation: 32 PSI. Fill it to 32, you're good to go. Except 32 isn't automatically dangerous, and it isn't automatically correct either. The real mistake is believing one number could ever work for every car, every tire, and every driving condition on the road. Your vehicle was engineered around a specific weight, a specific tire size, and a specific inflation pressure. And that number already exists, printed on your car, waiting for you to find it. Get it wrong, and NHTSA says you're not just looking at a rougher ride. You're looking at reduced safety, faster tire wear, and money leaking out of your tank every single week. By the end of this, you'll know exactly where that real number is hiding, and the 30-second habit that fixes it for good. Where 32 became gospel. So where did this number even come from? Maybe your dad said it. Maybe a mechanic filled your tires to 32 once, and you never questioned it again. Repeat a number enough times and it starts sounding like a law of physics. It isn't. Here's what most people miss. Cars aren't identical. Weight, tire size, axle loading, suspension design, all of it varies from vehicle to vehicle. The pressure engineered for one car can be completely wrong for another. So 32 for everything isn't a specification. It's a shortcut, and it's a common one, which is exactly why the Auto Safety Agency keeps pointing drivers back to one place: the number that actually matters. Here's where the mystery clears up. Open your driver's door and look at the frame or pillar. You'll find a small sticker, the tire and loading information placard, listing the exact cold tire pressure your manufacturer specified for your car. Not the internet's favorite number, yours. Your owner's manual also provides the recommended tire pressure. And here's the twist that catches people off guard. Front and rear tires often call for different pressures entirely, because your car doesn't distribute weight evenly across both axles. That number is a cold pressure specification, meaning it's calibrated for a tire that hasn't been driven on for at least 3 hours, per the Highway Safety Agency. You can still measure a warm tire in a pinch, but you'll need to compensate and recheck once it's cooled. Picture this. You filled every tire to 32 for years. Then one day you actually check the sticker, and none of the numbers match what you've been doing. That's the moment the mystery ends. Your car had the answer the entire time. The trap hiding on the sidewall. Here's the twist that trips up even careful drivers. Look at the tire itself and you'll spot another PSI number. Bigger, bolder, stamped right into the rubber. Maybe it reads 44, maybe 51. It looks official enough to be the answer. It isn't. The Highway Safety Agency says the correct pressure for your vehicle is the pressure listed by the manufacturer on the placard or in the owner's manual, not the pressure printed on the tire itself. A sidewall number like 44 or 51 PSI doesn't automatically become your target. And here's what catches people off guard. Switching to a different tire brand doesn't automatically mean you should switch to that new tire's sidewall number either. For your vehicle's specified tire size and configuration, start with the pressure the manufacturer recommends. The tire and the car are answering two completely different questions, and mixing them up is exactly where the trouble starts. What wrong pressure actually costs you? Now here's the part you can feel, even when you don't realize what's causing it. Underinflated tires flex more with every rotation. That flex builds heat, increases rolling resistance, and speeds up wear. And according to the Auto Safety Agency, properly inflating your tires can save you up to 11 cents per gallon at the pump. Yet the Auto Safety Agency reports only about 19% of consumers properly inflate their tires, meaning most drivers may be leaving fuel efficiency and tire life on the table without realizing it. Overinflate instead, and the opposite problem shows up. The tire stiffens, absorbs less of the road, and where it can shift toward the center of the tread, though tread patterns alone are never a full diagnosis. Alignment and suspension wear can create the same clues. Here's the number that should get your attention either way. The Highway Safety Agency estimates properly inflated tires can add roughly 4,700 miles to a tire's life. That's real money sitting in your tread. And a gauge is the simplest way to catch the pressure your eyes can't. The cold tire rule nobody follows. Even if you know the right number, checking it wrong will still throw you off. Cold doesn't mean the weather. It means the tire hasn't been driven on for at least 3 hours. Drive for even a few minutes and the tire heats up, raising the pressure reading. That reading isn't wrong exactly. It's just no longer comparable to the cold number on your placard. Check a warm tire and let air out because the number looks high, and you'll create a slow, silent underinflation problem that shows up later, usually at the worst possible time. If you're getting value out of this, hit follow now, because the next two habits are the ones that actually save people money every season. Let's keep going. Temperature swings make this worse. A cold morning can read several pounds lower than a warm afternoon with nothing else changed. As outside temperature shifts, so does the pressure inside your tires. The fix isn't memorizing a formula. It's checking more often when the seasons turn and bringing the number back to the placard every time. Don't chase the weather. Anchor to the sticker. The TPMS trap. Here's a mistake almost everyone makes. The dashboard light comes on, you add air, the light goes off, and you assume the job's done. It isn't. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is clear that the warning light only alerts you once a tire is significantly underinflated. It was never designed to replace regular checks. That's why the recommendation stands regardless of what your dashboard says. Check manually, at least once a month, even with TPMS installed. The system is a safety net, not a maintenance plan. Loads, trips, and the front-rear split. One more detail before the final payoff. If your placard lists different numbers for front and rear, don't balance them by making both identical. That's not balancing, that's ignoring the spec. And if you're packing for a long trip with extra passengers or a full trunk, resist the urge to guess your way from 32 to 40 because the car feels heavier. Some vehicles list separate pressures for loaded conditions right on that same placard. Follow it exactly. A generic high number is just as wrong as a generic low one. The 30-second fix. So here's how simple this actually is. Open the driver's door and find the placard. Note the cold PSI for front and rear. Let the tires sit at least 3 hours, or check first thing in the morning. Use a real gauge on every tire, including the spare. Low tire, add air to the listed number. High tire, release air to match it. Cap the valves, then glance over the tread and sidewalls for cuts, bulges, or cracks. Do this monthly and always before a long trip. Here's the catch most people miss. The gauge on a gas station air pump can be off by 3 to 5 PSI in either direction, which means the number you set isn't the number you actually have. A cheap digital gauge from any parts store beats it every time, and it lives in your glove box for the price of a coffee. Check the valve stems while you're in there too. Cracked or hardened rubber can bleed pressure faster than any nail, and it costs almost nothing to replace. And expect a natural drop of roughly 1 PSI per month, even when everything's perfect, which is exactly why waiting for the dashboard light means driving underinflated for weeks before you ever see the warning.